Okay, I think I have the live on. Y'all, I've never done this from my phone. And typically when we go live, Colby sets everything up for us. But actually just gave both boys a haircut and went in and was going to start folding clothes. And since this is out of our routine, I looked down at the phone and it said 4 minutes until 2. And I told you guys that I was going to get on and do a live with y'all today at 2 o'clock. And it is 2 o'clock on the dot right now. So I called Colby and was like, get off the tractor. I said I was going to go live. And he said, well, do you want me to do it with you? And I was like, yeah, I mean, that would be good. So he is on his way to come jump on with y'all. And he needs to show me. Like, I can't see any of y'all's comments or anything because like I told y'all, we usually do this from the computer and already have the link set up and all of those things and I had already planned this, but because this was kind of like out of the normal, this is not in our normal routine to jump on lives on Sunday, I almost missed it. So I ran inside to do laundry after giving the boys a haircut and was going to start folding clothes and picked my phone up to check to make sure I didn't have any messages come through and noticed the time and was like, I have got a live appointment. So, hey y'all, I actually do see some of y'all's comments coming across the bottom now. Thank y'all for being on here. We had actually come home from church and I already had sloppy joes made from this morning. I made bread yesterday, so that was pretty easy to kind of throw together. So we already had lunch and Colby and Jennings really, really needed haircuts. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, I'm not a haircut. I'm not a barber. I'm not a beautician. But I learned how to do this about in 2020. There's Colby. He's just going to come up beside us. And now he will say, please give me a haircut. And I honestly don't like to do it because I feel like guys' hair is so hard to do. The girls are really easy to do, but the guys, the blending from the bottom up to make it look like it's not whacked by scissors, I feel like is really hard to do. So he doesn't complain, and he's like, I don't really like going in the barber shops, and not always, but you know, a lot of times just people like to talk and it takes up time and it costs money. So I have made him go the past probably multiple times.
Yeah. I hate going to the barbershop.
Well, it's just not my favorite thing to do. There's a lot of things that we really like to do, but cutting hair is...
Actually, that didn't bother me. My hair grows so quick, so in like 2 weeks it'll be back to what it is. So if she missed this spot, it won't matter.
Hey, let me see the side. No, it's not really noticeable.
I think there's one spot right here. I'm like, oh, it might be a little long, but oh well. I'm not worried about it.
I did not learn how to cut hair. Okay,
you know, I get on my channel.
YouTube taught me.
On my channel, most people think this is a wig anyway. I don't know why. I don't know why. Does it look like my normal hair?
Y'all, this is not a wig.
This is real. It's a mop for sure.
He has a lot of hair. I laugh because... So the kids are mixed. Colby has extremely thick hair for a man, and I have extremely thin hair. So Aiden has really thick hair. Harley has really thick hair. And then everybody else has super thin hair, except for I don't know where Jennings is going to fall in the middle of it. His is starting to get thicker, but I don't know. We'll see. Mine is like, some people can pull their hair like halfway and have more hair than I have all of mine together. So... we're like extreme opposites there.
Mine is a mob for sure.
Yeah, this is not a wig, y'all.
It's there.
I think that's kind of funny though that people have told you you've had a wig. That's
I get that hilarious. All the time. People are like, just embrace your baldness. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not bald at all.
Not at all. Your dad's 60 what now?
65.
And he's not bald. I mean, thinning, but not even close to bald. So just having a lot of hair just runs in their family. So I think that's really comical. Well, share, y'all, we have stuff planted. Share with us. I would like to see what y'all have planted. We have started all of our basically green leafy stuff, broccoli, lettuce, spinach. What else? We did do some tomatoes, so I'm curious to see, starting from seeds in the greenhouse. Now, I'm going to take, y'all have seen me on all of my big black pots. I have lots of tomatoes in there. Now, some are kind of the leaves will start coming off from the bottom up, even though they're still growing and producing flower heads that will set tomatoes. So they kind of give them to me in bunches, and they're the indeterminate kind. But what I plan to do is cut those back and push them in my greenhouse. And if the roots are still alive, they're still going to grow. So I'm curious to see how the ones already established with roots in the pots are going to do in the actual our true greenhouse compared to the ones that we just started from seed. So I'm kind of curious to know how that's going to play out.
We got broccoli, carrots, cilantro, lettuces, several kind of lettuces, spinach, and the tomatoes, and I'm trying to think of anything else that we have planned. Tiffany, thank you so very much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that so much.
Whatever happened with the drones and birds? We never found anything on the drones. The birds, I'm addressing in today's video, but we were told not to harm them because we're not allowed to, but there's a way that we can try to scare them. So we're going to try to figure out what's next. But they did tell us we're not supposed to.
I actually have an owl that we could get over there. I wonder if the owl will affect them.
I need real owls. I need real birds. I need like a tag vectors.
So the drones, I've done lots of research and studying, and I have really looked at basically some signal interference things. However, it will only apply to those drones who don't have the signal blockers. So it's only a certain
type.
A lot to it too. Like, it's just a lot to it. We have not seen any in the last several weeks though, yeah. So that is better.
I think we've trained our kids wrong. Like the other day, Livy's like outside and we're swimming. She's like, "There's a drone." It's not.
It
was
like just a plane.
We've been scared our children.
But it is something to be mindful of. I mean, when you're going outside, obviously you want to know if someone is behind the drone, which means they're looking at you and what you're doing, which is a very uneasy thought, which is one of the reasons why I was so irritated that they were constantly coming over our house through the night. I'm like, we don't know, Tiffany, looking over our house.
Saying only because of Christ. Corn, if you're planting corn, tomatoes, cantaloupe, and watermelon, you must be in a very hot zone or either have a hot house. So congrats to that, for sure.
I think that would be cool. This is going to be our first full year with it to see
the big greenhouse. We've had little ones, but not the big one.
Like, and this one is fully secured. So what I mean by that is, like, our other greenhouses have been clear and closed, but not fully closed. This will be a true
complete tight,
closed in green. So I'm excited. Well, we do, once our helper is able to walk again, there are some places in the doors that stripping is supposed to go that's not done yet. So that's why I was telling y'all in the last video, I believe it was, when I was showing y'all our incident with the fish, is that,
hey Charlene,
not everything is done in there. So it is done, but it's not done. The solar's not done. The weather stripping is not done. But I am curious to know what the temperature is going to be like in there and how that's going to hold up through our dead of winter. Because in my little one that's not secure, I would put things in there pretty much as a temporary shelter so that the cold was not totally, like for my plants that were not frost tolerant. When it got that cold, I could put them in there, close the doors up, put heaters in there. Not that I was actually trying to grow things as much as keep my plants that were, keep them alive. And obviously indoors is not the best option. But I do have things like ashwagandha, a couple of other things. Ashwagandha, I know there are several down there. That's just one that comes to mind.
Well, a lot of the citrus too, all that kind of stuff we had to put in there. Now we're going to be able to put that in the bigger greenhouse, to where we'll have more room to work in the little greenhouse for really all year. Because when it's in winter there and we're having to water something, we're literally kind of like jumping over other stuff. So,
and it's really
it gives a whole lot more room. So, and we're going to redo it too and kind of secure it a little bit better over the coming weeks anyway.
Yeah, so and it is really old, so just a lot of wear and tear on the plastic that has gone through the storms, and that plastic is nothing like the plastic that we have now. So with that being said, we are expecting it to hold up longer once we change out a couple of things on it. So very exciting time. Planting garlic. Garlic is one of my favorites. So
I love it's so rewarding. Garlic and onion to me. Planting,
I actually just burped up garlic. because we've had kind of like a little head cold, and nothing major, but kind of like irritated throats. And I went for one day that I was just pooped out of energy, like no energy at all. And of course, you still have to do what you have to do, but just you're really tired. And the kids have kind of been coughing on and off some. I would just call it like a normal head cold. It's not been that big of a deal. But I've been taking my onion infused honey. I've been taking my elderberry syrup. And if you guys have seen some of the ones that are on here right now, if y'all have been with us for a while, you've seen us make some little capsules. This has probably been
a while back,
4 or 5 months ago. Yeah. And I put moringa, I put turmeric and pepper, garlic, colostrum. I know were some of the ones that I harvested all those things, dried all those things, ground all those things up, and then I bought organic capsules, and I basically just put like a cup of all of it in there. You really don't even have to do that much, like a half a cup, a fourth cup, whatever. Stir it up, and then took that powder that was mixed together, put it in my capsules, and I've been taking those. Now, I do know somebody who takes garlic pieces, like she just cuts them up into little pieces and just swallows the garlic whole.
It's a little much.
I personally cannot do that, so I would prefer to take the capsules, because you get all the benefits, but it also masks the flavor and taste, and it's very strong. So ginger, I think, was one I put in there, turmeric and ginger. Your turmeric is more effective with black pepper, just in case y'all are wondering why I said black pepper. It actually increases its potency by, like, I don't remember how much, but like into the hundreds. Like, it's astronomical. So definitely worth adding the pepper.
Yes, we do eat green garlic. We eat scapes up top, or either the green cuts. We pretty much put it all together, though, to be honest with you. A lot of that's freeze-dried for us. Same with the onions. We do the same thing with the onions as well. The tops. We try not to waste. If we do, we give it to the animals, and so they can utilize it.
Yep. Anything left over pretty much goes into the pig bucket. If not to the chickens in the pig bucket.
The only thing that doesn't go in the pig bucket is pork, and so we utilize it with the dogs usually.
And we don't do the tops to our potatoes.
Yeah,
we
get rid of those.
We just put that in regular compost, but pretty well anything else the pigs get. So nothing actually ever goes to waste. Pickled eggs. That's something we're not really crazy about, y'all.
I don't like anything pickled personally. The fermentation pickled, I mean, we do pickles, of course, but I'm not big on anything pickled. I think people do pickled okra and pickled asparagus, and
some people really like that stuff.
It's just not for me.
It's amazing though how God created us all with such like different taste buds, because I even know some people that love boiled okra. I like okra, but I don't want it slimy or boiled.
It's disgusting.
I just can't. I can't. But then a lot of you guys love it.
We're from the South. We fry that stuff.
Throw it over in some lard, y'all.
Everything is better fried.
It really is. Lots of people doing greens.
I like greens. They're my favorite probably to grow aesthetically. I love the different grasses, and I love the different greens. So like lettuce, all the different forms of lettuce, and if we grow something like a clover or something, I love all the different colors throughout. Yeah. It's so pretty.
Our kids really like salads. Pretty much all kinds. Yeah. I mean, it's been a process.
They don't like purple lettuce.
But over the years, it's really been a process to get them like lettuce. Now, I did have some that really liked it from the toddler stage, but not all the children. But we were just adamant about constantly giving it to them, adding things in there, whether maybe it was fried chicken or whatever it was that they liked, to get them to eat with it. And they have really all come to love lettuce. However,
during the fall and winter, we eat a lot of grilled chicken salads.
Yes, we do. We do. But they don't really. And now, Aiden, I will say this: Aiden has really gotten into like sautéed. He really likes spinach. Yes, Brussels sprouts and spinach, which is one of the main reasons I decided to grow it this year. Colby eats it some. Spinach is like hands down my favorite. I absolutely love sauteed spinach. Aiden likes it almost anyway, but we have really tried to be diligent this year to grow more things that the kids like, now that they are really coming to figure out the things that they like and don't like. So Broccoli, everybody likes.
Yeah.
So
we can never grow enough broccoli.
Right, we really can't, because there's 8 of us, and if we did row after row after row,
it would never be enough.
It still would not be enough to feed us for a full year, because we eat it at least 4 times a week,
at
maybe
least.
5.
Yeah. Can you dry herbs in the oven? Yes, but you lose a little bit of your value because it gets a little too hot.
The heat is too hot.
You really need to be at a 100 degree, 120, 130, like a dehydrator. If you go to, like what Misty just said, when you get to an oven, it's 170 minimal, and so it usually gets too hot. It still works, but it takes some of that benefit
Not
out.
that it won't dry your herbs, because it will. However, because like Colby said, the heat is so high, some of your nutrition is gonna degrade that. What I would suggest you to do, okay, so I'm just gonna have a confession here. My very first dehydrator, I found at a garage sale for $1, and it did everything that I needed it to do.
Except for meats.
It did everything else, fruits, all your leafy greens, all your herbs, all things like that did great in there. It's not, Colby's right though, it's not going to do like fish and jerky. I couldn't get that out for some reason. It was here, but it wouldn't come out. So if you can go to like thrift stores, garage sales, we have every year in our area, we have like a whole road. It's our East Lincoln garage sale like road. It's like a whole entire like, y'all, it's like for miles and miles and miles, where all these houses jump into this garage sale. That's where you can find so much stuff. So look for those areas or communities that do that. And I think you'll be surprised at the kind of deals that you can find on stuff that you can utilize. We've always done that.
We don't sell our pumpkins. Most of the time we just have them and put them around and then feed them to our animals. My goal initiative would be for us to have like a fall fest one day on our farm, but we would want to grow all our own pumpkins. So we grow a good. This year's been the best.
This was the best harvest we've ever had.
We probably have about 40 or 50 more on vine that just are not quite ready. We could pull them, but they wouldn't cure as fast. But we grew a lot more color this year because we like them in the Cinderellas.
This is my favorite, yeah.
Like Misty likes those.
Aren't those so cute?
Almost like the gourd shapes and stuff. So we grew a lot this year. We want to try to grow even more next year. So I actually enjoy growing them. They're fun to me because it kind of gets you into the fall spirit. And I've said this on my video. A lot of times we get so burned out from gardening because we do so much heavy gardening before it's time to plant pumpkins. And this year we actually had a little bit more time to focus on pumpkins, so we really enjoyed it. And so I think next year we're going to try to devote a little bit more time, a little bit more area to just make them come, because it's fun. They're aesthetically pretty. You know, we just like them. And Misty was talking about this week. She's going to try to set them around the porches and kind of make that fall really pop at our house. We love the colors; they look pretty. So
yeah, they are really.
We would love to get to one day where kids, like our homeschooling group, could come out and grab a pumpkin and paint. And like Misty's going to do a thing with some parents probably for long to actually paint some of these. But we'd love to grow a big patch just for that reason versus just for us. So. We don't sell them yet. We would love to get into a point where we have like a fall fest here. So
yeah, so they are heavy feeders. Speaking of,
definitely.
I was going to tell y'all a while ago with the broccoli. So a lot of our broccoli, we're actually not putting in our raised beds this year. We've had success with it, but because our family is so big, we want to grow more, and they are heavy feeders. So because broccoli is such a heavy feeder, we plan on taking all of our broccoli down to our big garden this year, which is conveniently by our chicken coop, because that is exactly what we did this year. Well, not only do we have our birds, all of our roosters, y'all saw me back in, I think it was March or April, I hatched out a whole batch of birds. Well, I've already taken those hens out. It seems like it was just yesterday, but it was back early spring. I've already taken all of those hens out, put them in the barn with my other laying hens. There's 2 roosters in there, and y'all, for whatever reason, I don't know. I know with some animals, and I have not done enough research for this. I'm just kind of taking a wild guess here. I know that with turtles, I believe with alligators, and there are a couple more, that depending on the temperature of the egg will determine actually the sex of the animal. I don't know if any of y'all have ever heard that. I've read that before in the past, and I'm kind of wondering if that plays any kind of role into hatching, because I had what would you see would be probably close to 80% roosters this last hatch.
Yeah, we had a big hatch of roosters.
Tons, and it
maybe
seems
5
like
hens. The rest were all roosters.
all roosters out of like 30 something birds.
Great for feeding the garden. Purposeless for anything else, though.
Yeah. So I just put those two thoughts together while I was in here talking to y'all about all that, and I really tend to chase rabbits, y'all. I'm sorry. Colby fusses at me all the time. He's like,
she does the Trump weave and just doesn't.
You
weave
started
it back
talking about this, and then you jumped to this, but you never come back to this. But
one thing that better come out of all these pumpkins, though, I know she left that subject, but I better get a pumpkin pie, at least one pumpkin pie. I told her if I grow all these, I don't eat sweets, but I will eat a pumpkin pie.
Well.
And a sweet potato pie, both of those.
All the way back to say the roosters. So now the whole chicken tractor is just roosters. So we took the hens out, and because there was only a handful, went ahead and took them out, put them in the barn, and the roosters are rotating in that area. But the garden is conveniently enough beside the barn that we can go in there with the wheelbarrows or the tractors and scoop all of that out, dump it into our garden. If we're not planting, we can till it in. If it's already planted, we do not mix it into the soil. It goes right beside the plant. So it's getting tons of nitrogen, but not enough to burn it. So that is kind of a fine line there. I have burned stuff before, and that is because I mixed it into the dirt and then planted, and then it's going to kill your plants. So conveniently enough to feed these heavy feeders, but you don't want to mix it in to the soil or you will kill your plants. So do we have any questions on there? It's hard for me to see.
Most people are just commenting on some of the things. They all said I should get a pumpkin pie, basically.
Well, I've never made pumpkin pie, but I can try because I really do like to cook. I don't like to do dishes, but I like to cook. So
all right, let's see. I think we answered all those. A lot of creators have had roosters this year. Well, all our eggs are all farm. So it's just a weird season for us. I mean, we need to probably grow another, since that didn't come out as much hens, we will have to incubate more, probably for spring especially. We still have a lot of hens, so we still have a huge group. I mean, we're still at least getting 12 to 15 eggs a day, if not, of course, during summer, 20 and 30. But we're okay, but by next year, we're going to have to try to do another incubation. I
am going to do some research on that, though. You know, they say like turtles and alligators, like depending on the temperature actually determines, like if the eggs are hotter, they might be male, or if the eggs are hotter, then they're female or whatever. I think I'm going to look into that before I hatch again.
I promise you, Sayla will want to do it.
It seems like we always have more roosters than hens.
Said let the baker daughter do it, and she will want to come on.
Sayla really does like to bake. She hasn't baked as much in the past couple of weeks, but she does like to bake.
My other girls are getting into where they just want to make cookies all the time, so Sayla's like, I'm just not going to make anything else, and they're making cookies.
Yeah, which I'm very thankful for, because that helps me not have to. I can cook a meal and not have to worry about doing dessert, because they like to do it, which is great, because, you know, as they get older and, you know, one day will marry. I hope they're like 30 before they get married. But
I'm fine. They live at home forever.
One day they will need to know that skill, so it's good for them right now for sure. So we're really learning this resin stuff, which they have really taken to and enjoyed. And I've been very glad. When we get off here with y'all, I have to go do laundry, and Holly was like, hey, when are we going to go out and look at our stuff? So it's good times also for me and the girls, because we're creating and we're making memories together at the same time. So
one day I would love to see us have our you know, all your soap and everything down there to where it's just one big craft shed.
Well, I have to have a sink for that.
I'm putting that in this next week, by the way. So she should be happy about the sink.
Yes, I am very happy. He spilled the beans and told me today. He was like, I've talked to a plumber. So and we already have water down there. We just don't have, I have a water hose, but to drag the water hose into the shop is like not ideal. So there is a perfect spot. Water literally just has to be ran around the corner, drop a sink in, and it's done. And I mean, I usually heat my oils and stuff up on the stove, but we've just been using like a little burner out there.
And it works perfect.
And like a little electric burner, and it works perfect because we can plug it up, unplug it when we're done. And because we're learning, right? So we're learning with this resin, and some of the bigger things that we've been making right now, we're still just playing and crafting And it is a lot of fun, but it is like a lot to learn. Some of the wax stuff is not really that complicated, but we've really just had to learn resin. Like, it's totally new to us. So we plan on spending a lot of months just like practicing before we start advertising this in our community. But anyway, we had made a bigger piece, and there were a couple little things we didn't like about it. So then we learned how to fix that problem. And it's teaching my girls problem solving too, because we've run into like, for example, the first piece that we poured, we decided to clean up after, and we had swept in a couple of different places where we had stuff floating in the air that landed in our resin. So we cleaned that out and quickly found out, because it is an outside shop, we needed to cover that up. So we covered it up, put a towel over it, problem solved. Then we got a different kind of resin that was like a squirter kind, and it put tons and tons of air bubbles into our resin. Well, of course, when you pour a piece that you want to look like a solid piece of glass, which it just is hardened plastic, but you obviously don't want air bubbles in that. So we have learned all the different ways to get the air bubbles out. And heating it was one of the better options for us that we've been doing. So that's why it's out there. We've just been really playing and learning, and it's been a lot of fun though.
It has been. I've liked them going out there, like Harley and Eliza and Sayla, all three. Every time they get a chance, they're like going down there. We came back from church a while ago, and they're like, "Hey, we're trying to get them to stop to eat," and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna run down there."
And I was like, "Girls, we need to do lunch first," and they all hit the back door to go out there.
It's encouraging. Plus, it's right in their backyard. So, again, the whole purpose of what we do at our farm is not only to build food around here, but also to build activities for our children and crafts and outdoor activities and things. Like, I love seeing the kids run from one thing to the next. It's all in our yard or all right outside our farm, so it makes it where the kids can really enjoy.
Right, and it's about making memories with them too, and they're longing to be with us, because if we don't provide for their interest, then they're going to be looking for what suits interests outside of the home, which is not always bad. It's definitely not a bad thing, but then you can get tied up into worldly things and worldly views and stuff like that. So knowing that they have an interest in this and we can provide it at home has been a good thing for us. So
Marianne, we'll be addressing that on today's video on Life of Kobe Mac. We're going to be talking about the birds, what they told me. Are you going to do any video on Christmas candy?
Yeah, I actually did one last year on divinity.
She just wants excuses to make divinity. She loves making divinity because she wants to eat divinity.
I do. I'm not going to lie there. I really like divinity, so I really like sugar, period.
Christmas candy is just fun to make. It's just that season. So when we get to that time, it's kind of like the pumpkins for fall. We just like making it. And actually, we've given some away. We take some to our jobs and things like that, but the kids love doing it. Misty likes eating it, and the kids like eating it too. So
they like eating it too.
They do like eating it too.
Don't just be rolling that on me.
I can say that because Misty's weighs like 90 pounds.
No, I don't.
But she loves sweets. She could live off sweets if she was allowed to.
I really do have a sweet tooth, so. But it is fun to make, and again, it's just one of those things where memories are with the kids. I mean, my girls get in there and they say, "Hey, let's do this, this, and this," and I can't always, okay, because he has a job, I have jobs around here, so I can't always just be like, yeah, let's just do whatever you want to do all day. But then there are times where I say, hey, this day, and this day, we're doing stuff together. And I'm glad that they still enjoy that right now, because
what do they want?
That one day they will get older and have jobs and more school, and they'll be busy doing other things, and they themselves won't be able to stop and just do fun stuff with mom and dad. So we're trying to just soak all that up in right now while we can.
Yeah, the last few days.
Have they seen the new progress up on Aiden's house?
Today's video shows a big jump, so you need to watch today's video for sure. So today's video, it comes out today, it shows the progression. Yeah. You're gonna really like it. It's a reveal for sure.
Like you showed all of it?
I showed pretty much all of it.
Really?
Yeah. So y'all be able to see that for sure.
I'm super excited because
I don't know if I'm super excited. I'm bittersweet excited.
I know. I'm not. No, I wasn't talking about like him leaving and going to his own house. But I was going to say this. I have a video. I've been recording. I've been diligent about getting all the things. We have a folder built from when we cut the grass and took the fence down. all the way up to what it is right now. So every single bit of this is going to be put together in a start to finish video to literally them getting married and moving in, and I'm excited to share that. Like even us, because you know we're watching it piece by piece, kind of like they're watching it piece by piece. But when we build that video and watch like literally cutting the grass, taking the fence down, then the pole went up, then you know progression. It's been really neat to watch, but to be able to put that all together in one video and for us to be able to look back at all of that, it's going to be really cool. So
and the bigger play here is legacy. We're building legacies for our farm. It is sad to see Aiden one day go and not come in our house, you know, to go to his room, but to know he's right up on the other side of the farm. Not only is that protection for, you know, Misty and of course as we get older, but it's also for his family too. And so our goal is to hopefully have our children all build here. Now they may not, and that's okay if they don't, but I would love that. But the benefit is, you know, we're able to do this and see this progression and give this to him as something that, you know, if he utilizes it for a long time, great. And if he moves out, then the next child will do it. Or, you know, it allows us to give him a step ahead that we both wouldn't have had and most people don't have. So if we could utilize our funds for that, that's awesome. I mean, that's really more worth than any new vehicle we would buy.
And you know, they may be there a year, they may be there 5 years. They may want to add on, or they may want to build their own house from scratch. But it's there for them right now, and they can stay however long they want if they want to build somewhere else. And that's an option that they've talked about. They've talked about how, you know, they may say, hey, we just want to stay here for the first kid and then we want to build our own house. So that's just future, talking about future plans. We don't know what will happen. But I will say this too, which I think is important for us, is Annabelle wants to be here. She's very excited about them having a house on a secured piece of property where if Aiden has to leave at night or Aiden's gone during the day or whatever, she's not at home on a road in a neighborhood where she's by herself. And she's, of course, my doors are always open for her. So if she gets bored at home and wants to come down here, you know, she can literally just skip down here and she's at the house. So with all of the girls. And she loves to be with them and hang out with them on days that she's not at her house doing her schoolwork or her house chores or whatever. She's here hanging out with the girls. So that's a huge benefit, I feel like, as well, providing her security for when Aiden's not home. So
it is a little warm here still, for sure, no doubt. But we did have a cool morning this morning. It actually was nice. I would say cooler morning. So it was really nice.
That wind blowing right now. If y'all see my hair, it feels
we hear the
really
chimes
good.
too. So yeah, our goal is to see. I would love all 6 kids build on this property. I don't know if they will, but I'll do as much as I can to keep them here. So especially my girls.
Yeah,
I will do anything to keep them here for sure.
My Aiden, you know, he's a big strong guy and he can take care of himself. But when you're talking about girls, it's just a totally different ball game for me.
All right. Any other questions y'all have for us before we go? Any other questions? It's freezing here. Oh man, Melanie, I wish I was there. I don't know where you're at, but I wish I was there.
Not
Ontario.
Me.
Never mind. I don't know if I would be
Not
that
me.
more.
Y'all can take that cold weather.
I just want 4 seasons. Mississippi doesn't have 4 seasons.
You got to go a couple 100 miles north to get that.
I would love to get about 4 seasons. I love the Tennessee or Kentucky line. It feels like y'all get more seasons. Missouri, same way.
It's just hot here with a dab of winter here and there. I mean, really.
We have 2 seasons.
Hot or
and
cold.
Then rainy cold, and then hot. That's kind of the only thing that brings cold weather is just storms.
Rain.
So
yeah. Really.
Dana, you're about the same as us.
It really is never cold here and stays cold, except for maybe January, and you still may get in the 60s, 65.
The coldest months are definitely January and close February.
But you still may have some days where it gets up into the 60s. So
we've had tornadoes on Christmas, people.
Yeah,
I mean, we've had some crazy times. So
Kentucky at 73. It's probably about 80 here.
Yeah, it's probably higher than that. It's probably 85 here. But hey, that's a whole lot better than 99, so we're not going to complain. But actually, I need to go water the rest of the pumpkins now and get all that stuff done anyway.
I know, I've got to go around to my peppers. Thankfully, little Jen has helped me catch all of the fish, or replaced all of our fish. If y'all didn't see that video, go back and check it out. Pure accident. The fish were doing fantastic, and walked out one day and they were all dead. Strictly an accident that hopefully will be resolved very soon once we get the solar. But we replaced all those fish and they're doing fantastic. But I do have peppers that I have to water and pick too. Well, I've got to do laundry, we've got to do our project, then I've got to do all of that. And we've got to get that done in 3 hours.
All right, you wrapping up?
I am. So, Anna just jumped on from Mimsy's Garden. We're just about to get off, guys. We've been on for about 35 minutes, and we've got some chores to do this afternoon, but we really wanted to jump on and say, hey, how are y'all? Kind of tell y'all what's been going on here and see what y'all been up to. Because I do try to read almost all of the comments after I post videos, or try to go through, and a lot of y'all share. You share your personal stuff, family stuff. I've had lots of prayer requests that I've been praying over for people with different health problems, or issues with children, just all kinds of things that I've been praying for y'all. So I do go through and read those, but we like to be on here and talk to y'all as we're reading some of the stuff come across too.
All right. Thank y'all so much for joining us today on Misty's channel and seeing our pumpkins. They are pretty awesome.
This is my favorite ones. I love these.
Yeah, we planted a lot of those, and actually the greens this year may have done better than the oranges.
I like the white color too.
We haven't had any whites yet. I planted some pastel whites, but they've not come yet, so they may not come this year. But hey, we had a good harvest. Thank you so much for watching. Catch us on the other videos. Check out Life of Kobe Mac today. There's a video coming out. There's a video coming out every day on the Macs. But Life of Kobe Mac, we show Aiden's addition and how that's coming, and talk about the birds. We got to talk about the birds. So hope y'all enjoyed this live.
God bless y'all.
God bless.
Happy homesteading.
Happy